These clothes only mean one thing. It was court day. So crazy enough, AJ reminded me, I did a court day video, I think 1 week ago exactly, and it's still spinning to upload. And we've canceled it and tried again. So I don't know, maybe I said something in the video that didn't work. I'm not sure why. We'll know when I upload this video. But today was court day again, a little different court day. So I'll recap the last court day. And while we're out here, we got a couple new things behind us. We got the SR5 Tacoma that was a trade-in, but a very clean truck, low mileage truck. Got some big wheels on it with some all-terrain BFG looking tires, bed covered, dark windows, Carolina truck, so check your state for legal window tint. Also, the little electric car. The last time I did a video about that car, it sold about 10 minutes later to one of our faithful local customers, and he just wasn't using it. Matter of fact, it wasn't that long ago, but he lives in a golf cart community, got golf carts, got ATVs, doesn't really have room in the garage, hated to see it sit outside, and it just didn't really work. So he's like, JW, I was like, no problem. As he was here loading it on his trailer, we had another customer stop by that day. So this is gonna be a popular little car, for sure. Still got the plastic on the interior. Whoa, whoopsie. And hardly any use. But if you're in a golf cart community and you want to be inside, you got a sunroof, got some lights. I mean, I guess you'd call it cute. Like you could put some graphics or something. Anyway, he was like, Dave, I gotta come that way anyway. I'm gonna drop it off. I was like, no problem. I'll buy it, sell it, get rid of it for you, whatever. Which is how we like to do anything. You guys buy something and the wife throws a fit, just know you're not stuck. We're not gonna do you like every other dealer and be like, we're not answering the phone, bye. We don't know who you are. We're always here, always here. We also got the mega truck out. One of the mega trucks, that is Mega Diesel. That is a Super Duty with a compound turbo, extremely beefed up Cummins under the hood. The yellow mega truck, which is currently out of gas, because I was moving it to cut grass and completely ran out of gas. Killed the battery on that one. I was not having a good weekend with the mega trucks. I usually keep those at the house because we'll just wake up and spur of the moment and say, hey, let's throw it on a trailer. Let's go to a car show. Or that truck went to a church for the weekend for a Father's Day deal. Kids' birthday parties, you never know. That's not gonna be so easy with the next mega truck because it's not only taller and wider, but it's also twice as long. But you guys are gonna find out about that one very soon. The big 8-door mega truck, getting very close to being done. And we're gonna definitely hit way more events with that one because that one should shut some stuff down. But back to court. So today was an eviction. As you guys know, they're faithful followers. I have lots of rental properties and businesses and other things. This was related to a property. Some tenants had been in there for a long time. They were great until they weren't. And I think they might have lost their job, fell on hard times. I'm not sure what it is, but you know, when you stop communicating and you stop paying, I can only give you the benefit of the doubt for so long. So I let it go for 30 days, 60 days. Then I turned it over to a collections agency, which turned it over to the courts. Well, here's how the courts work sometimes, guys. There was a letter wrong in the address. They received the eviction notice. They signed for the eviction notice. But because one letter was wrong in the address, they could not evict. So they had to do another court date. So I had to go again and one again. So now eviction will take place. And I hate that, but been as patient as I can. And, you know, when you owe somebody money, you should pay. You know, that's the way it goes around. If I got bills, I got to pay them. You should too. So I don't really feel bad about the situation. They've had long enough now. They've had several, well, 3, 4. They've had about 5 months of not paying and plenty of time to figure out what they should do. So the other court case that I have a nice video for you guys, and we'll keep walking so you guys can see stuff. What did I drive to court? I actually ran into a real estate investor friend of mine at court. He was there for a similar situation. And he said, what'd you drive? I didn't see you in the parking lot. I drove that. So when you guys think, why didn't you jump in that or why didn't you jump in that? I try to drive everything on the parking lot I am not too good to jump in that Ford Edge? Escape. Ford Escape. Matter of fact, I need to get the license plate out. Definitely not too good to jump in one of the least expensive things on the lot. I would have drove the Fiat, but I couldn't find the key. So the other court case was a partnership gone bad. I've told you guys about that court case before because this is the 4th time I've had to go as a witness. Partnership that bought a vehicle from us, and unfortunately one of the partners did some fraud and signed the other person's name. What would that be? Forgery? Mm-hmm. Forgery. But it goes bigger than that. That's just the part that we're involved with. So, you know, there was a title to a vehicle and the other one forged the other one's name. And I had to go be a witness that they bought it as a partnership, not one, but both. And again, very drawn out, and unfortunately I get continued to dragged into it. I've even asked, can somebody set it on my behalf? And unfortunately that cannot happen. I have allowed AJ to go in the past, and they've allowed AJ to go in the past for, you know, vandalism or theft and things like that that have happened to us. And he's had to go multiple times because of continuances. If you guys want to know where your hard-earned tax dollars go sit in the courtroom. It is staggering what you will see. The case today had mostly to do with collections and credit cards and Capital One and other banks and other landlords. The other one, because it's automotive, was more case of traffic in automotive. So I don't know why we were in that courtroom, but 100 miles an hour in a 45 and so many people speeding, so many people without driver's license. You got lawyers, you got the judge, you got the courthouse, you got all the bailiffs and sheriffs, and just our tax dollars just going out the window. It's insanity. And just to hear some of the stuff that people do, it just blows my mind. So anyway, that court case got continued again. It's red. It's not black and white. It's not gray. It is red. One is wrong. It's fully blatant that one's wrong. They know one of them's wrong, but they're still continuing it. This was the first time I had to get up, and I did have to, and I don't know how many details I can go into, so I better stop probably, but you know, I had to testify of signature, non-signature, how it worked. I probably should stop. Yeah, I don't think I should go any further. But that's, maybe once it's all over I can talk about it, but that's why I tell you guys, partnerships don't usually go very well. So if you're in a partnership, have a partnership, you better be very, very, very cautious. And yes, I am a partner with some boat-related stuff down in Florida, but you know, it's lock, stock, and barrel and proper and, you know, by the book. So AJ said cut it off, so I ain't talking no more about court. We're going to end it right there with court-related stuff. But that is why I'm in a little different attire. Maybe I look like the salesman you normally see when you walk on a car dealership, but you're going to find me in some shorts, usually a dirty t-shirt, and whatever pair of shoes is not muddy or wet at the current time because it's been raining. It's the first day we've had that's dry. We got a lot of things moving around, orchestrating today, the interior shop, the window tint shop, the exhaust shop. Kenny's wrapping up a project that you guys have not seen. It's going to be one of the coolest crew cab square bodies to date. But I'm going to wait for him and Daniel and Brian, and we're going to do a big unveil on that one. Nicknamed Brown Bear. So you guys stay tuned for Brown Bear. I have to dare say, and Kenny, he's a man of few words. He's definitely a man of few compliments. Very few compliments. Matter of fact, in our 30 years of acquaintance and business relationship, I've never heard him compliment anything, just down how people do stuff. But he's a perfectionist. He said, yeah, this is the nicest crew that you guys have had, period. He says, the nicest one that's come through my doors, period. And he hasn't touched all of our trucks, but he's seen most of them. And he's like, hands down, this might be the nicest crew cab on the planet. And of course, we all love the colors, hence Brown Bear. I'll give you a hint on that. But I'm talking down to the right thread used for the right stitching on the interior. Every piece of this truck has been gone over. And, you know, this truck, if it was in a restoration shop, this is what's going to really blow you guys' mind. I did some cold calling not too long ago, again, to some restoration shops just across the country. West Coast to East Coast, just to find out. Because if I could find somebody that was spot on with paint or spot on with doing something that we don't have time to do and we can outsource and keep a flow going and have a good flow for my customers. We don't like outsourcing. We keep all of our stuff very tight knit. But most restoration shops are $200 to $400 an hour, and most of them are into 2027. 2027. I told somebody yesterday or the day before, matter of fact, I told 2 people, if I had to talk about my painters and body shop schedule to get done what we currently have for them and move forward with another project, we would be talking about 2027. Thankfully, most everything we do is a little spot in. You know, it's like the one truck that could use the roof painted. You know, it's just here to there, cut it off there. But what happens is we butt that in front of something else of ours, whether it be a personal project or a company project. They'll get it done in 2-3 days or a week. Matter of fact, we need to check on the Raptor. But in doing that, that's 2 or 3 days or a week behind we are on that other project that they have there, or the other 10 projects that are ready to go there. So it is, it's a blessing to have a tight-knit community of people that we deal with and support, but it also can be cursed too. Oh, so where I was going with that, if you accounted for the cost at a restoration shop of a lot of these higher end, what I call 6-figure trucks, man, I get off track easy these days, man. Golly day. If you had to account for and trust me, when your car is there and they go work on it for 3 hours, there's 3 hours on the sheet. If they start running some hoses and it takes them 6 hours, 6 hours on the sheet. Yesterday, we spent a whole day working on a carburetor. We started with a factory carburetor. We put on an out-the-box brand new carburetor that ran worse than the one we had on it. So we tinkered with that to figure out it was just a problem, put it back in the box, put the other carburetor on the bench and did a rebuild on it. We had 8 hours in a carburetor. At those rates, do the math. It's a pretty expensive little bill. As to something I'm not billing myself, we did it in my shop. But if we had to outsource it, our 6-figure truck, which blows some people's minds, square bodies are 100, 125, 150, whatever the number is. Some people are just blown away. Oh my God, I'd never pay that in a million years. That would be $250,000 or $350,000 if every dollar amount was accounted for, bar none. And there's guys with square bodies in those shops spending that money right now. The difference is they won't see their square body for 3, 4, 5 years. The ones that I have that are ready, you can own it tomorrow. You can probably have it in your house in Texas or Florida or Alabama or Illinois within 2 or 3 days, and you can start enjoying it right away. Some people don't want to wait. Some people don't want the journey. Some people don't want the bills on a weekly basis, because most of those shops, I also ask them, finally I just told them, I said, look, I'm a shop too. I'm just doing some comparison. Had some great conversation, talked to some great places. And a few of them already knew us, crazy enough. One of them followed us on Instagram for years, and that's why I'm like, dude, if you're watching us on Instagram, you're not seeing crap. Like, you're seeing like 1 or 2% of what we do, and didn't even know we had a YouTube channel. One of them followed us on YouTube. Just one day he was searching for some rare square body parts he needed and wanted to see some pictures of something. Came across their channel, said he'd been watching it ever since. But they bill weekly. If they're running a tab on a truck and they're currently working on it, parts and labor tallied up weekly. So those people are on a, you know, whatever it is, they're on a credit card basis, mailing a check, just depends. He said it depends on if it's a business or a personal guy or whatever it is. So it varies. So just wanted to explain that to you guys too. So where are we at, AJ? Is that all we need? Yeah. It's hot out. It's hot out here. We started with electric car. We started talking about court. At least this court video may go up. So I ended up with, you know, 2 days out of a week's time, semi-wasted, but you know, the one for rent is on me. You know, I don't have any choice. I'm the manager, I'm the property owner, I have to deal with it. I asked today, did I have to come? They said no, but if you didn't come and there was something that comes up and they needed your question answered, then they'd have to recontinue it again. So I guess it's good I showed up over a super technicality, but that's how technical the freaking courts are. One letter wrong in the address. One letter. And they kicked it out last time. So 45 more days has gone by, 45 more days without my property. They will have a sheriff on their door, the way the process works, and I'll take that property back over. It's cool property, big piece of property, acreage, and out in the middle of nowhere. That's also why I had to go to the middle of nowhere to attend the court, because it's not in this county. Somebody here from Alabama, so I guess we'll see what they need. Did you know why they're here? Okay, so it's kind of like yesterday at 6:10, we had somebody show up from Maryland. And we're accommodating, guys, but please communicate, because at 6:10 we could have been closed. AJ was physically blocking the lot, Mike was physically locking the door, and these customers came in to look at a bucket truck. We gave them the keys, and we stayed late. That's what we're here for, we're here to accommodate, but we could have been gone, and because we close at 6. So a lot of businesses at 6:01, the door's locked and nobody's here. Where was Kristen? Oh, it was 6 o'clock and 30 seconds, so yeah, he was gone. But we accommodated them. Unfortunately, they didn't make their mind up, and a customer walked in this morning at about 9:30 and bought that vehicle. So that's the way it goes. And Mike communicated with them like, hey, just making sure, you're on the fence. And he stayed after 7. They drove it around, they moved it around, they operated it. Hey, we're here. Open book, guys. Change my light bulb if you want. Whatever you want to do. If you're here with a truck or vehicle, put it in four-wheel drive. AJ was across the road the other day with a customer, putting it in four-wheel drive, moving it for them, doing all that kind of stuff. We'll accommodate your requests. We'll accommodate your needs. We do our best to do all that. So thanks a lot. We're going to get out of the sun. AJ is sweating his stuff off, and I'm in jeans, and it's 90-some degrees outside, so I'm not real comfortable with a shirt, under a shirt. Time to come out of these court clothes. Thanks, guys.